Crib installation's complete. Hey everyone, Digital David here with my lovely wife, Digital Amy. Today in this video, we're going to be unboxing and setting up the Babyletto Hudson 3-in-1 convertible crib with toddler bed conversion. While we got Amy in the video, I wanted her to share more about how she landed on this crib. Full disclosure, I haven't really spent any time looking at any baby products yet. She's been driving that ship, and so kind of want to hear from her and why she picked out this crib versus all the other cribs you can find on Amazon and online today.
Yeah, so if you are in the market for a crib, you know that you have so many options. You can get cribs as cheap as $100. You can splurge and buy cribs for $1,000. So what I did is I just started looking at articles where people were ranking the best cribs based on safety, style, conversion, if they're able to be converted into a toddler bed. And I kept seeing this one pop up on the list, the Babyletto Hudson crib. And yeah, I think it looks great. I bought it in white, and all the other baby furniture is going to be white. So I think it's going to look really good. And it's safe and reliable, so I'm excited.
Sweet. Well, let's go ahead, guys. If you're interested in this product, the link to it is in the video description below. Be sure to check it out there. Now let's go ahead, let's get it unboxed and see all the package contents. Yay. So we got the box opened up here. Just wanted to show you guys how everything comes packed. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove all the package contents and show you everything that's included. Here are all the package contents right here for the crib. You can see all the rails and supports. On the cardboard box right here, you can even see the toddler bed conversion. We got the mid-century modern design in white, and we really like the look and feel of the finish. They did such a good job packaging everything for us. Nothing's damaged and everything looks great. So there we go. You can see all those contents right there. Also, excuse the dog bed, but there is the mattress frame for us as well for the crib. And then we have our additional package contents right here. We have a nice thank you note. We have your installation guide, which we'll look at in more detail as we set everything up. We have some more information on the crib for us right here with the model number, manufacture date, serial number, and everything else we might need in the future. Here's the included hardware kit with some additional instructions, and these are all the contents that are inside that box. We got your washers, your bolts, with an included Allen wrench, a wood dowel right here too to use for installation. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver. Do not use power tools, just use a handheld screwdriver to complete setup. But between the screwdriver and the included Allen wrench, you'll be all set. Now let's go ahead, let's get it set up. So in the installation guide, go ahead, look at the parts right here, and you can pause the video if you need to study it and see their assigned letter for each panel and frame rail, etc. And then we can look at the hardware as well right there. We can turn the page to look at more hardware so we can see everything else right there. And then assembly step 1, which is what we're going to do right now. You can see it's really simple and straightforward. They even zoom in on it to show you what we're going to be doing in each corner. And then once you do it in one corner, you're going to repeat that for the other 3 corners. Now this is really important. I wish they kind of made a bigger note of this, but they do show you the correct picture. But make sure on these sides you have those holes on the outside. I went ahead, I already started building this, and I had those holes on the inside because I wasn't paying attention. And then I got to step 4 and I had to retake everything apart. So go ahead, pay attention for those holes everywhere you see right there. Here's all the parts we're going to be using for this step that they reference right here, but here they are visually for you. So we have all the big wood dowels. They make a smaller size as well. We're going to be using the bigger ones. The 4 bolts that had this attached to them, go ahead, take those off, use the lock washer, and then we're going to drop that piece in place right there on that hole. Now we can go ahead, we can look at the frame. We have it set up correctly right here. So again, that hole's on the outside, those holes are on the outside, and same for the other side. Make sure you have yours looking just like this. And I want to point out, we only have one big hole right here. On the user guide, you can see in their diagram, they have multiple holes. We do not have that specific piece, so ours is even easier. There's only one hole that can go in. So now, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get those installed. So now looking at it closer, I went ahead, I put the 2 wood dowels in right there. We're going to go ahead, we can drop this piece in 2, but make sure you have that hole the right way. We need that hole to line up with this hole right there. So go ahead, you can just drop it in like that. And now we can go ahead, we can take this bolt, put it like that. We can line everything up right there, push it into place, and then tighten everything down. So there we go, we pushed it into place. Now you can see we're just ready to take the Allen wrench right here. And this is a little goofy, so it kind of hits it, but they do cut it out enough for you to just twist this into place. And then repeat this step for the remaining 3 sides right there. Now you can see we completed step 1 at every corner right there. Now we're ready for step 2, which is going to involve those feet right there. So we can come over to step 2. We can see the frame we just assembled and what we need to do next. So we got to place some of the smaller dowels on each foot. And then we're going to take the H2 screws with the lock washer right there and attach them all together. So that's all the parts we're going to need for this step right here. Now let's go ahead, let's get them installed. So it's upside down, but I want to show you what it looks like right there. So we can come over to this side. You can see what we're going to do in a little bit better detail. So this dowel is going to go in this hole, and then this threaded hole is going to line up with this hole. So when we flip this over, we can screw one of these down, which we'll do that right now. Now you can see we have it flipped over, and we can just drop these bolts right in there and tighten them down with a Phillips head screwdriver. So you can see we just finished step 2. We can go in on it now. All the screws have been attached right there. So we have the legs, the feet installed. That looks great. Again, this is your last reminder. Yours has to look like this right here with how those holes are lined. So make sure your base has the holes in that exact same position. If they're on the inside, you need to go ahead and redo the steps to make it look like this to finish putting on those rails. So now guys, let's go ahead. We can make it over to step 3. You can see we're just going to attach all the remaining wooden dowels right here so we don't have any left. And you can see where they go. They go on all the remaining bigger holes that can fit these dowels on the top right there. So let's go ahead, let's get them placed. There we go, step 3 is complete. We'll walk around so you guys can see them all put in their proper places. Now we're ready to move on to step 4 right here. You can see the instructions again, they're very clear. We're putting railing A and B on, and they even zoom in for you, showing you how to line up everything with the wooden dowels that we just put into place. Here's all the parts and pieces we're going to need for this step right here. So let's go ahead, let's get them installed. So I went ahead and just stuck one on the wood dowels right there so you guys can kind of get a feel for how it's supposed to look from all the different sides and angles right there. Then we're just going to go up underneath and tighten those bolts down. We're just going to feed them through with our hands so you can see that's the hole underneath that we're going to use. On the other side, just push the bolts up through there. You could flip this upside down too if you wanted. We can show you this other one right here where those bolts are going to thread into and where your wooden dowel is going to go in right there. So go ahead, let's do that now. So you can see I got one in here and we're just finger tightening it into place. If you need help lining it up without turning it upside down, you can just lift it up just like that so you can see it right there and just continue to thread it into place. 4 is complete. Everything looks great. Now we're moving on to get one of these railings installed for the side. So we can look at step 5 right here. We can see in more detail everything that we need that I have laid out for us right here. But if you need to pause this right now to study it a little bit more detail, we're going to take the 3 longer ones on each side right there and install them in place. Then we have 2 of the shorter ones going up from the bottom to attach to that railing as well. So let's go ahead, let's do that now. You can see what we're going to do right here. We have a little bit of wiggle room. There's the threaded hole that bolt's going to go in. And we have 2 more to do on each side. All 3 of those are tightened down, and repeat that on the other side. To show you guys those 2 bolts at the bottom, I went ahead and laid the crib on the side. You don't have to do that for installation, but it might make it a little bit easier for you. Go ahead, use the Phillips head screwdriver and tighten both of those into place. Step 5 is complete and everything looks great. Now we're ready to proceed to step 6. We're almost done because there's only 7 steps. So we're going to add the mattress support frame in right now so you can see right there what we're going to be doing. And here's a close-up on how everything goes. So we got the really short bolt, the lock washer, then our regular washer, but the mattress frame in between the 2 washers. So there's everything that we need right there. Now let's go ahead, let's get it installed. So step 6 is complete. Everything looks great. Let's go ahead. We can look at one of them in more detail so you can see the pattern just like the instruction guide. So we got the bolt, the lock washer, the metal for the mattress frame, and then our other washer right behind it. So it's really nice. You also have multiple adjustments, so as your baby grows, you can lower this down. Looks really cool. I did notice in ours, for some reason, this piece is a little bit bent in. It's not going to affect anything. Everything else is perfect, but did notice it's got a slight bend in it, probably from shipping. And then we're on to step 7, our last step. We can see it right there. It's going to be identical to step 5. So here's all the pieces that we need. That uses everything up. We do have one extra lock washer, so we can just go ahead, hang on to that, or throw it out when we're done. And it looks really simple and straightforward. The longer bolts on this side, 3 on each side, and then 2 at the bottom, and the crib's assembled. So we got the long bolts installed on both sides. Now we just have to install the 2 shorter bolts on the bottom. Same thing, I turned it on its side again. We're gonna hand tighten them in and then finish them up with the Phillips head screwdriver. So they're tightened down and crib installation's complete. So here's the assembled crib, guys. It looks great. The installation process took me right under 60 minutes. I'm pretty experienced with furniture assembly, so if you're not experienced with it, it may take you a little bit longer, maybe an hour and a half or so. Just depends how quick you're moving, if you're distracted by anything else, and if you're having any problems along the way. You shouldn't expect any problems unless, like I pointed out earlier in the video, you have the holes on the wrong side for the frame and this won't come out correctly, so you'll have to redo it. But if you get that all lined up and good to go for the beginning, you won't have any problems. Now I just want to show you guys the instructions for the toddler bed 2. We would basically just have to disassemble the last step that I showed you guys and then add this frame on instead, which is included in the box. And you can see we're going to use the same parts right there, but just not as many of them. So that's really nice. Going to be super simple to do someday when the baby starts to outgrow the crib. So we're really happy with how the Babyletto crib turned out, but we're even more excited to welcome our first child into the world in the spring of 2020. You can expect a lot more baby product reviews on our channel in the near future as we get closer and closer to having our child and we continue to build out our nursery and acquire all the things that we need for our baby. If you're interested in this product, the link to it will be in my video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Hit the like button for us, subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily. Don't want you guys to miss anything. We're so thankful and grateful that you guys are here and supporting the channel. Give us a follow online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can message us on WeChat. Check out our website, join our free newsletter, guys. Follow us on Twitch and join our Discord server as well. New content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.